All right, let's jump right into this explainer and completely unpack the journey of joining the Indian Armed Forces. If you've been searching for a comprehensive, no-nonsense breakdown of the Combined Defense Services, or CDS, examination for 2026, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to go step by step through the entire procedure today, and we are leaving absolutely no stone unturned. But listen, before we get into the nitty-gritty logistics, I really want you to ask yourself, do you actually have what it takes to command, lead, and earn that uniform? Because this isn't just another competitive exam you cram for over the weekend. No, this is a gateway to a life of rigorous discipline, deep honor, and real service to the nation. It requires a complete transformation of your mindset. So here is our roadmap for today. First, eligibility and application steps. Second, cracking the written examination. Third, the SSB interview and medical tests. And finally, training at the defense academies. Okay, phase 1, the foundation, eligibility and application. Let's get into it. The absolute most crucial thing to wrap your head around first is your timeline. For the CDSI 2026 exam, the UPSC is expected to drop the official notification in December 2025. And heads up, you're going to have a pretty tight window to apply, that exact same month. Then, fast forward a bit to April 2026, your admit card will drop, culminating in the big day itself, the written exam on April 12th, 2026. Go ahead and mark that date on your calendar right now. Now, you need to figure out exactly where you fit into the puzzle because the rules are strict. Notice the age brackets and very specific degree requirements for each of the 4 academies. For instance, the Indian Naval Academy strictly requires an engineering degree. The Air Force Academy, you need physics and maths at the 10+2 level or an engineering degree. Also, check this out. The Officers Training Academy, or OTA, actually gives you an extra year on the age limit, pushing it up to 25. Oh, and a quick surprising fact that a lot of people miss. Final year college students can actually apply. You just have to make sure you meet the qualifications before the joining date. Once you've double-checked that you're eligible, everything officially kicks off at the Union Public Service Commission portal. Just a heads up, this website is your one and only gateway to applying. There are no shortcuts, no third-party sites, just the official UPSC portal. Luckily, the application procedure is super streamlined. You'll first register via the OTR, that's the one-time registration platform. After that, you fill in your details and strategically pick your preferred academies. Finally, you just pay a nominal fee of 200 rupees. And what's really great here is that female candidates, as well as SC and ST candidates, are completely exempted from paying this fee. All right, moving on to phase 2, the first hurdle, cracking the written examination. You absolutely have to know your battlefield before you walk in. If you're aiming for the Military Academy, Naval Academy, or Air Force Academy, you're facing 3 papers totaling 300 marks: English, General Knowledge, and Elementary Mathematics. But hey, if you are an OTA candidate, you get a slightly lighter load. You're only tested on English and GK for a total of 200 marks. Yep, no mathematics required. But, and this is a massive but, regardless of your path, every single paper has negative marking. So guessing blindly, yeah, that will completely sink your score. So what numbers are we actually talking about? Based on recent exam trends, these are the expected safe scores you really want to aim for. Notice that incredibly high bar set by the Air Force Academy. Experts say you need to aim for over 150 marks there. For the IMA, you're looking at a safe zone of around 125 to 130. And for OTA, targeting 80 to 90 marks should be your goal. Now, the trend shows these cutoffs creeping up every single year, so to be totally safe, try to aim about 10 to 15 marks above these numbers. To actually hit those targets, experts always point back to the foundational classics. For English, Wren & Martin is basically the gold standard. For GK, you've got to build your base with class 6 to 12 NCRTs. And for maths, R.S. Agarwal is highly recommended. But please listen to this next rule because it catches so many candidates off guard. You literally have to score a minimum of 20% in every single subject just to qualify. I mean it. If you score 90% in English but only hit 19% in GK, you are disqualified. Balance is absolutely everything here. Okay, phase 3, the ultimate test, the SSB interview and medical tests. If you clear the written exam, take a breath because things are about to get very real. You'll be called to the Services Selection Board, or SSB, for a grueling 5-day evaluation. It kicks off with Stage 1 on day 1, which features intelligence rating and picture perception tests. Guys, this is a brutal screening phase. Literally, only those who clear Stage 1 get to pack their bags and stay for the next 4 days. If you survive that, you dive deep into Stage 2. That's one-on-one interviews, outdoor group testing tasks, and intense psychology tests. To demystify some of the jargon you'll face in those psych tests, let's talk about the SRT, the Situation Reaction Test. Imagine someone rapidly firing everyday crisis scenarios at you. Now, imagine you have to solve 60 of these high-pressure situations in just 30 minutes. That's 30 seconds a question. It's specifically designed to see if your natural instincts reflect what they call officer-like qualities. There is literally no time to fake it. Your true, unfiltered mindset is exactly what's being evaluated. Now, if you perform amazingly and actually get recommended by the SSB, don't celebrate too hard yet, because immediately after, you face the Special Medical Board at an Armed Forces hospital, and they check everything. You have to fall within very strict height, weight, and BMI charts. Your vision, your hearing, even your dental health is completely scrutinized to ensure you are physically fit for active work conditions. Oh, and pay close attention to the tattoo policy. No permanent tattoos are allowed, except on very specific inner areas of the forearm or the back of the hand. Finally, we reach Phase 4, the transformation, training at the Defense Academies. So, how long are you actually training? Well, it varies a lot depending on your path. Over at OTA, it says super compact, fast-paced 49 weeks, after which you're commissioned as a lieutenant in the Army. The Indian Military Academy takes a solid 18 months to mold you into an Army lieutenant. For the Navy, it's roughly 22 months to become a sub-lieutenant. And for the Air Force Academy, you are looking at 18 to 24 months of incredibly grueling preparation to earn that prestigious flying officer rank. Now, this is a major distinction you need to understand early on about your career trajectory. IMA, INA, and AFA offer what's called a permanent commission. That means a lifelong career in the armed forces right up until retirement age. OTA, on the flip side, provides a short service commission. This is a dedicated period of service, usually around 10 to 14 years. It gives you unbelievable leadership experience for a set decade, and there is an opportunity to potentially convert to a permanent commission later on. And just a quick note here, women officers are exclusively trained at OTH&I for the Army. All right, let's talk about something incredibly motivating, especially when that training gets really tough. 56,100 rupees. This is the fixed monthly stipend that every single gentleman and lady cadet receives during the entire duration of their training. So think about that. While you're out there being pushed to your absolute physical and mental limits, you are already being compensated at level 10 of the pay matrix before you are even officially commissioned. Once you finally have your passing out parade, your career officially kicks off, and your growth in the armed forces is deeply structured and incredibly rewarding. Based on the time you serve, your performance, and specific conditions, you'll rise through the ranks. You'll get opportunities for highly specialized courses, foreign postings, and massive leadership roles, potentially climbing all the way to general, admiral, or air chief marshal. So, as we wrap up this explainer on the whole CDS 2026 procedure, I want to leave you with one final thought. The roadmap is clear. We've talked about the exams, the medicals, and the incredible outcome at the end of it all. But the real question is, do you have the discipline to take that very first step today, to pick up the books and turn this blueprint into your reality? The choice is entirely yours.